Hello everyone, it's me. I'm back with another custom figure showcase. I haven't done one of these for a while. I think the last one I did was the Trial of a Time Lord 6th Doctor with his red and white waistcoat, but I thought I've got a few custom figures in the works, and I was toying with the idea of either doing this or my next top 10 video, but I thought, break it up a bit. Don't want to have a continuous cycle, plus, it would mean that I'm still able to upload something per week without having to schedule any specific videos. So I thought, why not go with a custom that I had out and ready to be reviewed, and it is this, the Voord. I don't think we've had any Voord figures released by Dapol, or I know we have the Doctor Who figurine collection one, but that isn't posable, and I mean, I do love a good posable figure. And I thought, well, the character options line is starting to die. I had very severe doubts that they would be releasing any new classic series stuff. I mean, granted, we had the two Peter Capaldi figures with his season 9 look, and we had that 10th Doctor in his tuxedo, which I'm still yet to pick up, even though I'm not that much of a fan of the 10th Doctor. It would be a good figure to have. So I thought, time to start making some classic figures that, let's face it, probably aren't going to be released. So I decided to start off with this, a Voord. The base figure is an Invasion Cyberman, which I'll just pan across here. You can see they have quite a few similarities as far as the sculpt go, which is intentional because, well, that's what I wanted. I've just removed the head, which I've made use of and have turned into a Death in Heaven custom, and I removed the chest unit, which you will see feature in one of my FAs just as a little gadget. And of course the piping on the side, because the Voord didn't have piping. So yeah, I've grabbed the Invasion Cyberman, taken off the unit, the head, which was just a dunk in hot water and pull it off, and I just cut off the main bits on the joints here with a pair of side cutters and pulled the rest off with tweezers. So a relatively simple job to get to the main base figure, and as you can see, aside from a small hole in the chest here, which is where the chest unit came out of because it had little plugs, that entire process is relatively easy to do. You can do it. I'll get onto the sculpting very shortly, but the actual removal of pieces and then covering them up is a relatively simple job. So as you can see, the Voord is as it was seen in the Keys of Marinus, in its wetsuit, which is why I chose the Invasion Cyberman, because they used diving suits, and I thought it would save me having to get another figure, possibly Dremel it down, etc, etc. So I just grabbed that. I only had two, so I somewhat regretted it at the time, but I've picked up a few more since, so I'm glad I did it. And if I pick up any more Invasion Cybermen, chances are I will probably make this custom again now that I've improved my sculpting skills. So on to this sculpting, because that's what I had to do next. I'll start off with the easier stuff, which was just the feet. So the feet were, well, without going into too much detail, they're meant to represent flippers, like diving flippers. I haven't done a very good job, if I'm honest. I just grabbed a bit of the putty, stuck it on, carved it around with a knife, tried to smooth it down. As you can see, I've done a terrible job in places like here, but the overall shape is relatively good, and if you look at it from a distance, I'll just try and bring the camera out, there we are, looking at it from a distance, and most of the time, you'll only be seeing the top half of the Voord anyway, it looks quite good. And as you can see, I tried not to sculpt on the shoelaces as well, because I wanted to keep the whole, diving suit look, which from what I remember from my Voord lore is how they're supposed to be. I don't think they are actual diving suits as part of the aliens. I think they actually wear diving suits, so it sort of fits if that is the case. Going up, we get to, as I mentioned before, that little patch on the chest, which I just put on a bit of clay and just rubbed a knife down along here to keep the crease from the zip, and to try and keep it uniform. I'll try and get it in the light there so you can get a better angle of it. And then obviously we come to the hardest part of it, the head. So the head was tricky because obviously I couldn't use the actual Cyberman's head as a base to sculpt off because it is exceptionally wider. I'll just grab the Invasion one. You can see it, the width. I mean, even sticking it behind it, it sticks out in the handles and everything. And like I said, I still want to use the Invasion head, so I just plucked that off and was left with a headless figure. So I turned it into this. Now, what I started off with doing was I just sculpted the neck area on the back here just so I could make sure that I had a solid connection. I didn't want to do the head and then possibly stuff it up, squash it and everything with having to attach the neck to it. So I did the neck first because most of that is hidden obviously on the inside of the figure, so it doesn't matter that much. Then I actually just got a block. I just a lump of the plasticine, just cut it into a block and then chiseled it out from there. I didn't include the little antennae thing they have on the top of the head simply because I couldn't be asked. If I wanted to, I probably could use the plastic twisty ties that they had from that you get in the collector series packaging that tie the figures down. But yeah, like I said, I couldn't be bothered. I might do it on a future one, but this one, I mean, I suppose it could represent Yartek, I believe his name was, the lead Voord, who didn't have any, so it's still canonical. The back of the head is a bit dodgy, as you can see, because one of the little things, I'm not too sure what to call them, they're definitely not ears, one of the little antennae, horn things, snapped off. You can just see where I've had to repaint it on the side here. You can see bits of white. I mean, you can see bits of white and silver everywhere because my clay was white and the base figure was obviously silver, and it's just a matte paint. I'll probably go over it again soon, and of course bits have rubbed off from the articulation, but I'm pretty happy that it's predominantly black. So yeah, that is a bit dodgy. I think it's meant to be somewhat frilled along the top and the middle of the head in there. Yeah, not too sure. I'd have to watch the episode again. It's been about 6 months since I've seen it, maybe 8. But yeah, I really enjoyed Keys of Marinus. It's a good story. And then probably the hardest bit was the inside of the where the eyes are supposed to be, because that was tricky as hell. I just kept digging it out with a knife, and I mean, even now you can see it isn't symmetrical, which is a pity. I would have loved for it to have been. And I believe, I'm not too sure, but I think I've dug too far in and I've made it into an angle, not a flat surface that's just slightly, you know, bent in, embossed. I'm not too sure what the word is. Yeah, so I've stuffed that up a bit there. But overall, the head has turned out really well, and the few pictures that I've put of it online, people can instantly say, oh, it's, you know, the thing from Keys of Marinus, it's a Voord, which is what I'm after. I didn't really make this for any specific reason other than the fact that I wanted a Voord, which I love the Voord. I mean, even though they're relatively crappy monsters in the Keys of Marinus, I love the look of them, which is one reason I wanted it. And plus I thought, you know, if I ever make a few more, I could do a Voord FA. I mean, I didn't make this one with the intention of doing a Voord FA. I just thought, it'd be good to have one. I've got other interesting looking monsters in the works. I've got a Fisher King, I've got a Pterodactyl, I've got a 70s Silurian, possibly an 80s Silurian as well. Just stuff that I think, you know, it's disappointing character options didn't make. But, you know, here's a good little start out, just a nice one to get me started on. So that is my Voord figure. Pretty simple. You know, if you want to make something and just try your hand at sculpting but not too detailed, I definitely recommend doing this because it's a great one to have in your collection. The fact that it's completely black, it stands out against any of the other 60s characters, which are all, you know, white, grey, silver, etc, etc. I mean, just sticking him next to my Hartnell collection just on the shelf there, you know, you've got William Hartnell next to him, Silver Dalek next to him, you know, and he's bang, completely black right there. Yeah, I don't think there's much more I can say about him. Yeah, he's a pretty simple figure. You might have also noticed the fact that this is not just my room. This is currently a set I'm using. This is the unit lab, because I'm halfway through, or not halfway yet, through filming Revitalization of the Cybermen, which does feature Invasion Cybermen. So, you know, I suppose if I stuck a Voord in there, I could get away with that. Nah, I couldn't. But yeah, so that's coming. More top 10s are coming. I've got, currently I'm just looking at them now, 2 more custom figures ready to be filmed. Oh, I say ready, maybe a couple of touch-ups with paint here and there, but basically ready. I've got a couple more in the works. I've got more top 10 videos coming. I've got some product reviews, but with a twist. I say that's not going to be much of a twist. Yeah, I've got 3 FAs planned this year. That's very ambitious, seeing as the last one took me a year and a half, God help me. But yeah, so I hope you enjoy this video. I'm not going to ask you to like and subscribe, because that's a horrible thing to do. If you enjoyed it, you'll do what you will. But just know that subscriptions don't go unappreciated. I've almost reached 200 too. I know that doesn't sound like a lot, but for me it's a lot, considering I've only been on YouTube, I think, about 3 years, and done stuff all video uploads. But yeah, hope you enjoyed this video. Please let me know if you have any questions about the Voord. I'd be happy to ask. Yeah, I think that's about it. Until the next video, goodbye.